Need to get this a little higher, just a little bit. Perfecto. Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to this stream. And by the title, you know what I'm talking about. So basically, I want to share the results of cucumber plant sample. If you have been, following the videos, you would have known that I sent off an plant sample, basically cucumber plant sample, to the University of Florida um, to do their analysis on. And so the results are back. Uh, it's it's bad news, right? Bad news, but at least we know, or we now know, what is causing the issue, and now we'll have to devise a strategy to move forward in terms of getting rid of the issue. Now, I hope by now, many of you who are interested in, submitting a sample to this lab, the University of Florida Plant Diagnostic Center. I hope you would have, watched the videos that I put out on that and basically understand the process um, of doing it, because if you are growing plants, at some point something will happen, right? And you might not know what it is, and you will have to send off a sample for testing. So we don't want to be too long here, but the what the lab said was basically it was a virus. Now I know, oh yes, us as farmers, we don't like to hear that term, that we have a virus, because virus means the crop is basically going to struggle forever until you're ready to terminate it, right? Production is going to go down, infestation is going to go up, the plants will look terrible moving forward, and you know it's really disappointing. I really feel you know um, a virus is something, it's very difficult when you have a virus affecting your plants. So right, so it's basically, what kind of virus is it? So a lot of you might associate cucumbers with, cucumber mosaic virus, those kind of virus. But this one is basically, they call it a potty virus, POTY virus. It's a potty virus. And based on the information the lab sent me, they said that it is being transmitted um, by aphids. Now, when I look back and I look at the farmer's plot, and based on multiple visits, I've seen aphids, right? I've also seen whiteflies, and I've also seen cucumber thrips. So all those three insects are basically, they do the same thing in terms of they are sucking insects, right? And they basically have this kind of, what we'd call it. I don't know the right term. I think maybe the stylet. They have a stylet that they push into the plant, um, cell, and basically suck the sap. So yeah, it's a virus, and it's what they say is that it is a non-persistent virus, right? It is a non-persistent virus. Now, please feel free to send in any, to write your comments or any message or ask any questions. So it's a non-persistent virus. What does this mean, right? So of course you have persistent and you have non-persistent virus. So what this means is that with the non-persistent, you find that it is not incorporated into, let us say for example the aphid. It is not incorporated into the aphid's body. So it hasn't, it is inside the aphid's body, and the aphid is carrying it around. It is basically on, when it comes down to non-persistent virus with the putty virus, it is basically on the aphid's body. So where on the aphid's body is the virus? So that same stylet that I told you about, that the aphid pushes into the plant cell, that stylet, that is where, that is basically where the virus is. So what happens is that when this aphid land on the plant, 'cause what they do is that with insects, what they do is that they will fly, sorry, they will fly from plant to plant or move from plant to plant, just to kind of feel out, if it is the right plant, or if the tissues are, good enough for them to kind of stay and feed, right? So what happens is that they move around to find a suitable place. So while that aphid lands on the leaf, it basically kind of probing the leaf, and while probing the leaf, it basically lets off or transmit the virus onto the plant. So that one aphid, when it does that, it is basically free of the virus now. So when it flies and goes somewhere else, it is not going to basically infect another plant, because um, it basically already lets off the virus on a plant already, right? So that is basically what is meant by non-persistent. But if it was persistent, it would basically be incorporated into the aphid's body, and the aphid could basically infect more than one plant. So it comes here, um, feed on this plant, put the virus in it, goes to another plant, put the virus on it. So that is basically what it is. So as you can see, it is basically a tough challenge now, because um, it's like, with the non-persistency of this virus, you basically find that your plants can be infected and you don't know, right? So you will have an insect maybe flying in, just kind of probing your plant, lets off the virus, and then it goes about its business, and you don't see it. You understand? So um, but I'm kind of having a little bit of doubt, because to tell you the truth, um, this virus, it really shows up very different from other virus that I know that affects cucumber and even other plants, right? So even though it's coming from the lab, right, and they did the testing and they said that it's spotty virus, it's like, I'm doing this experiment now that you know about, right? And it was basically to find out if it was phytotoxicity, right? Um, but now that I got the results, it's like I need to just debunk, or get rid of that, or terminate that experiment, because we know it's a virus. But to me, based on the symptoms and what I see on the plants, trust me, it really, really, to me, it really look like is phytotoxicity. Not saying that the virus is wrong, but I still have a little bit of doubt, even though it came from the lab. So I'm still going forward with the experiment, right? I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible, right? From any white fly, any aphids, any trips, anything like that. Um, Still use the different water, the 8 to 10 ppm total dissolved solid water, and the 280 to 300 ppm total dissolved solid water. I'm still going to use that. Still going to go forward with that. But just to let you know, I still have a little doubt. But the thing is, I mean, how do you control? How do you control this? Or how do you manage? Yeah, with a control or manage? Because first of all, you know, you can say you're going to kill out all the insects, but normally when you see the insects, that mean they would have already transmitted the virus, right? Because it's non-persistent. They have it on their body. They have it on their body. So especially the stylites. So they just, when you see them, they might have already transmitted disease. So you spraying them now and killing them might not necessarily, it will not necessarily protect you. But if you plant a new plot and you try to keep that plot as clean as possible from the get-go, that is good, right? But um, so basically, having a proper spraying regime, insecticide, right? Keeping your plots clean, keeping keeping your tools clean because you could transmit the virus via tools also. Keep the disinfect them, um, keep them clean. If you know that you have an infested house, go to that house last. When you go to your farm, go to that house last. Tend to your cleaner plants first. Go to that infested house last. Another recommendation is that you could use reflective mulch, which you can basically, if you are growing outdoors, you can basically put the reflective mulch on your beds, and that will basically reflect some type of light, right? And it basically will cause dysfunction with the aphids or other insects, and it serves as a repellent as well. So the insects won't like that, so they won't come there. Or whichever one comes there, they basically kind of blind them and disrupt their system, and then you get control there. So um, yeah. So now that we got the result, I'm just going to basically um, continue with my experiment and basically try to have the farmer keep down the insect load, uh, keep the plants clean, sanitize, um, yeah, and just being disciplined to that. So yeah, if so, you can go ahead and look up on virus, right? As I said before, virus is basically the virus that the lab confirmed that is affecting the cucumber plants. Um, and as I said earlier, it is a non-persistent virus, right? Um, and yeah, uh, let us see. As you see in the experiment, the plants are looking really well so far. But as you know, it's basically when they reach the generative stage, they start to show the symptoms, right? So we didn't have many people here on the live, but of course I'll upload this live, so you can watch it when you have the time. Again, please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.